Welcome back to the crazy. It's Leslie, Fat Cat Flossing. Today is Sunday, I think, May 31st. Cat fuzz as per usual. And I'm back after almost 2 months. It's been a lot of craziness around my house. So welcome back, y'all. I hope you're happy to sit and visit with me today. It's likely to be a little bit longer than usual. I usually do around 30 minutes, but since I haven't checked in with everybody for a couple of months, I have lots to show. So bear with me, would you? I'm sorry it's taken me so long to get back to visit with y'all. It's been crazy around here, having nothing to do with the whole COVID craziness. Steve had surgery this past Wednesday in Little Rock. He got referred down to UAMS, and he's doing good. He has about a 5.5 or 6 inch incision on the flank of his back, halfway down his back. But the surgical oncologist that he was referred to seems to think that it was abscess and not tumor mass. He had a mass about, it looked like somebody had tucked an orange up under his shirt. But hopefully, and we're still waiting on pathology for that. We probably won't have it till the end of this week. So y'all keep a good thought for him. But he's recuperating. And I've complained about him having the man cold before. The man surgery puts it in the shade, but he's doing good, and I'm so grateful that he's doing well, and I'm so grateful that hopefully his diagnosis is going to come back benign. So y'all keep a prayer for him. All the kittens are doing good. The kittens that were born in early February are going to be leaving off. Well, 4 of the 5 of them. The one that's not staying, they're one is staying with me. The other 4 are leaving on the 9th of June. They're all going with a pet transporter to go to various points. 1 to Louisiana, 1 to Pennsylvania, and 2 to Seattle. Prissy's kittens they'll be 2 months old on the 4th, and they are doing great. They won't be leaving until early August. And then Sky's babies were born on April 22nd, and she had 4. And despite an emergency trip to the vet to dislodge one of them, all 4 survived and are doing well, with the exception of she had virtually no milk. Which is one of the reasons it's taken me so long to get back, because I hand fed those babies every 2 hours for about 3 weeks, and I'm too old for that. So I was sleep deprived and brain dead for 3 weeks. They're almost 5 weeks old now. They're doing good. They're catching up weight-wise now that they're eating solid food. And hopefully they'll be graduating from the playpen into the kitten room this week. And then I have 2 more girls due in June. This is a busy kitten season. Praline's due around June 7th, and Velvy's due around, I think, the 25th, give or take. But anyway, busy kitten season. But I so love my babies, so this is a fun part of the year for me. Other than I have to feed them every 2 hours. That part, not so much fun. Steve's dad had a heart attack last week and required a heart cath and 2 stents. He's coming home today, knock on wood. But again, it's just we've had the crazy here. So, but as of right now, everybody is doing good. Thank you to everybody who messaged and Instagrammed and emailed and checked in with me. I so appreciate you all knowing that you're all thinking of me, and I really, really appreciate all your prayers. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to move on now that we're 4 minutes in. By the way, this is a channel about cross stitch, so that's what we're going to talk about. And I have a poop ton. The good news is I have some finishes. The finishes are in no particular order. I didn't plan that far ahead. And the first of them is a Blackbird Designs piece. This is Sing a Song of Seasons from Blackbird Designs. This was a Maynia 2018 start for me, and I almost gave up with this one. I was probably 30 or 40% done with it, and it just wasn't ringing my chime anymore. I hadn't stitched on it in a while and was unexcited about it. And I pulled it out for my whip parade back in, I don't know, January or February or something, and really got re-energized about it. And I'm very grateful that I went ahead and finished it. I should have got something to hold up behind these, but I didn't. So this is Sing a Song of Seasons from Blackbird Designs. It's a very pretty little design. Again, this was a Maynia 2018 start, and I finished it, I don't know, early part of May, I think. Did I write that down? I didn't, but it took me relatively 2 years to get my acting gear and get it done. I'm very happy with it. I stitched it with probably most of the called for colors. Where I didn't have the called fors, I just substituted. I did change the date to say 2020, and I put my initial instead of the A that was there. And then I think I changed a few colors. Like I said, I substituted where I didn't have what was called for, but I'm very happy with how it came out. Very pleased with that. It's on 36 count. I think it's Wren, which I thought was appropriate. Yeah, 36 count Picture This Plus Wren, which I thought was appropriate since it's got two little birds on it. There's a bird here and a bird over here. Not my usual color palette, but I do like how it came out. So I have a finish. And I'm glad that I went back to it instead of just letting it languish like I was kind of tempted to do. I actually thought about giving it a new home. My next three finishes were all fairly recent starts. It's another Blackbird Designs piece, April Showers. There are three of the little stocking patterns in here, but I did the one with the umbrella because that one is my colors. This one I stitched not with the called for, I just pulled from my stash. This is 36 count Picture This Plus Sprite, which is a very, it's blowing out here, but it's a very pale lavender color. And the flosses were just miscellaneous from stash. It really is blowing out. Sorry about that. This blue floss is a Ship's Manor. It's very pretty. Anyway, again, happy with how that came out. I've never done a stocking before. I am really considering sending a package off to Faye Rigsby. I have all those kittens going home, so I'll have a little bit extra money coming in this month, and I may send a little package to Faye to have her finish for me because not only do I not enjoy finishing, but we've rearranged the whole office / craft room because Steve's been working from home. And I no longer have access to my big craft desk, nor do I have access to the closet where all my crafting supplies are stored because my computer is now set up on a little temporary table over in front of the closet. So I can't get to anything to do anything with them. That's as good an excuse as any to send stuff off to Faye, right? And then I had a couple more finishes. This is Shepherd's Pie from Plum Street. And thanks to Lori of Mischievous Stitches, we're calling this the Pirate Shepherdess because the first time I did her eye, it looked like she had a great big old black eye patch on her face. I did this with none of the call for colors. I just pulled from my stash of almost all color and cottons. There's a couple of Victorian mottos in there, but I used mostly color and cotton on this. And she's done. And this is Picture This Plus, I think. Bear with me. I'm terrible about remembering fabrics. So I usually try to write myself a note like on my working copy. But apparently did not, oh wait, 36 count Picture This Plus Ariel. See, if you don't have a brain, you have to write stuff down. I need to write stuff down frequently. This will be a giveaway sometime in the future, and I'll be sending my working copy along with that when I send it. Why waste your paper and ink? So eventually that will be a giveaway. But I'm quite happy with how it came out. Did I hold it up and show it? I'm out of practice, y'all. She's very cute. And if I get to Hobby Lobby, I may see if I can find one of those candlesticks to finish her on top of. I'll have to measure and see if I can find one big enough to do that. I think she's pretty cute. It's a very fat sheep. That sheep took me a while to stitch. There's a lot of white in that sheep. But that was a fun stitch, and it did not take long. And then my last finish, I had four, count them, four, was from the Blackbird Designs Sewing Club book. This is a wonderful book, y'all. And 3 months after market, 2 months? Yeah, 2 months after market, almost 3. It only sort of smells like printer's ink anymore. Not real strongly. It really, it smelled bad. But it was just that chemical ink smell. But that's almost gone now. But it is a wonderful book. I think there are, I don't know, 15 or 16 patterns in here, and I want to stitch all of them. But the one I did stitch was In the Garden. And they show this finished somewhere. They show this finished as a drum. So, but I think that would be a very, very skinny drum, wouldn't it? What do you think? Looks pretty skinny to me. I don't know, we'll see. But it came out very cute. I really like this one. And this I used, if I had call for colors, I used call for colors, but most of them I just pulled from my stash based on the picture and what I thought it would go with it. But I'm very happy with that one also. Actually, no, I did not use call for colors. These are all coloring cottons and Victorian mottos. So, but I'm happy with it. Yeah, this is the colors for that. But still coloring cotton, Victorian motto. I think there's one Lonely Weeks in there. I have a bunch of finishes all stuck in the same bag, so I'm confused. I have so much to show, I'm confused. Okay, that's all the finishes. Then I had a couple of whips that I worked on. The first whip, which I've spent a couple of days more on, Berry Cottage from Plum Street, also known as the Watermelon Hill piece, for me at least, because I think those look like watermelons. Thank you to whoever pointed out they're probably haystacks, but I still think they look like watermelons. And I've made quite a bit of progress on this one. I just have, I think I've got one more sheep to put in here, maybe another flower or berry up there. And then there's a little area over here that's a little 1/1 house, and I still need to do the 1/1. But I don't know, 75%-ish done with that. And I think it's really cute. There's a lot of stitches in that little quilt motif up there. That took me a whole Sunday afternoon. And this one, where I had the call fors, it seemed like they were mostly classic color works. I used those, and then I substituted Victorian motto or whatever I had for, you know, what I didn't have in my stash. Because I haven't been out to be shopping a whole lot, and I have so much stash, y'all. I need to use it. I really need to use it. Then the next whip I worked on, not as much as I should have, but I did work on it some. This is Harriet Elizabeth Coe from Brenda Gervais. Very pretty sampler. This sal is being hosted by Farm Girl, and I'll put the hashtag down below, but it's Harriet Elizabeth Coe sal. And I made a little bit more progress on Harriet, not a huge amount. This one, it hasn't been holding my attention. I'll put in 2 or 3 links of thread, and then I move on and do something else. It just hasn't been holding my attention a whole lot, but I have made some progress. I want to be one of those people who's organized enough to have everything like clothespin to the board and everything. Probably never going to happen. That's just not me. But here's where I am on that. Maybe 20% done. The letters are all eyelets, and my tolerance is about two letters at a sitting. This band here is also supposed to be eyelets, but I have changed those to Smyrna crosses because I've only got so many eyelets in me at any given time. but pretty happy with it. I have changed all of the colors on here. Just pulled again from my stash. Mostly coloring cotton and Victorian motto. But I'm happy with it. I wish it was going a little faster, but I guess that would require me to actually sit down and work on it. And I've been all about the new starts because, hey, it's Maynia. Or it's been Maynia. And last year I did 5 starts for Maynia. This year I did, I think I ended up with 9. I had 10 planned and I ran out of steam. That was about the time that Steve ended up in the hospital, and yeah, I just ran out of mental energy basically. But here's my Maynia. Let's get a drink. I did have one start before Maynia, which was, I asked y'all on my last FlossTube back the first week of April, which pattern I should start for Easter. And I ended up starting Eau Marie from Reflects de Soie. It's a beautiful, beautiful pattern. This is the antique that's pictured. She does not have a picture of the reproduction in this booklet. I had grandiose plans of going to Anne's shop in Little Rock, the Shepherd's Needle, and sitting down and playing in the silks and kitting it up. And of course that didn't happen because we were at home. But so I did, you know, I shopped in my stash and pulled, The kitties are in full swing for craziness right now. Shopped in my silk stash, and I did kit it up with silks. So there's my silks. This is 36 count. Oh boy, I've forgotten now. Maybe it'll come to me. I don't know. Anyway, it's a very pale lavender gray. Something or other. And I have not gotten a whole lot done, but I did start on Easter with that border. And I stitched the first few leaves, and my green was too much of a blue green. So I frogged out all of this green, called Anne, gave her a DMC number for something closer to what I wanted, and she sent me a Gloriana to substitute in for that. And I'm much happier with this color green. It's still a dark green, but it's got more of an olive cast to it rather than a bluish cast. The one I had pulled from my stash was too blue. So anyway, there's my progress on Eau Marie. And I will probably stitch on this again since it's Sunday today. Maybe. We'll see what holds my interest. I have been, I don't know, I guess just because being tired from bottle feeding kittens and stressed from having Steve in the hospital and just one thing and another. I've stitched, maybe not as much as I could have, but I have stitched, but I have not had like any stick-to-itiveness. I've just, you know, put a length in here, there, or the other. Nothing has really held my interest well. So it was a good time for Maynia to come around because, you know, I skipped around. My first actual Maynia start was Little Brick House from La Di Da. So cute. I saw Julie McConnell with Reflections Framing and Stitching show this on one of her floss tubes. I thought, oh, that was so cute. And I had just ordered some silk floss from her, I think. And so I had her include the pattern in that order. These are basically none of the call for colors. I again looked at the pattern and my DMC card and made a best guess. Those are almost all Victorian mottos. This is 36 count. I think she calls it Harvest Moon. This is one of Misty Purcell's fabrics, and it is lovely to work with. It's got a very nice hand and feel to it. And that's where I am on the brick house. So, but I think I've worked 2 days on that. I think the day that I started it, and I think I got one more day later in the month, so not too bad. Sorry, lots of bags. My next start was Time for God. And this one I started on May 3rd. This is a LizzieKate pattern, which I kitted up for Maynia 2018 and did not get to. So I've had it kitted for quite a while. And I had actually started this one, but I started it on this yellowish linen, whatever the call for was, and I just didn't like it. That yellow is just not my color. So I restarted it. And this is, I think this may be platinum. I'd have to look now, I don't remember. Again, if I don't write it down. And I've stitched on this, I think, a couple of days. One day at the car dealership, getting the oil changed, and then another day sitting in the parking garage at UAMS because, you know, you can't go in with your loved one to the hospital. And I think that was the day that Steve had a CT scan and a biopsy, so I sat on the parking garage for the roof of the parking garage where the light was good and stitched. And that's where I've gotten on that. So, and it goes quite fast because it's just, you know, mostly letters. And then on the 5th, I want to give away from Erin 2 Martini Stitcher last year. And the giveaway for her, I think it was for her 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Her giveaway was fully kitted up. Stitch or Die from Heartstring Sampler, which is so cute. Very cute. And we started this together on the 5th. And unusually for me, I had all the call fors because Erin kitted it up. So yay, Erin. Of course, being me, I had to change a couple things, and that little tabby kitty is now a Berman kitty. But I just thought that was really, it's going to be very cute. And I really just need to sit down and finish this one. I think one good solid day of stitching, I could, if I couldn't finish it, I could get real close. This is 36 count something or other. Or no, it's a 32 count she sent. It's whatever Erin sent. 32 count platinum Belfast. So it is platinum. And I stitch 1/2 even on 32 count just because I abhor stitching with 2 threads of floss. And I'm okay with that coverage. It is not dense coverage. And of course your colors pop more when you use 2 threads because it's like, you know, if you're coloring and you press down real hard with your Crayola, you get more color. With the same thing, it's colored, you know, color density. So it's not quite as dense a color as I'd get with 2 threads, and the coverage is not quite as good, but I don't enjoy stitching with 2 threads. So 1 thread it is, and I'm okay with that. This was my next start, and this was my favorite favorite purchase from Market, favorite release from Market. This is Bunny and Bee from, sorry for the glare, y'all. There we go. From AnnieBeez FolkArt, and I think this is so cute. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. But I went my own way. I didn't do it with what was called for, of course. This is, let's see if I wrote it down. It's whatever title, 36 count title from Picture This Plus. This was one of their market release fabrics this year, and it's a very pretty blue, kind of an aqua blue. Well, showing you the back, I will show you my back because who cares? There's my back. But here's the front. And again, I really like this fabric. I like Picture This Plus fabrics, period. I like the fact that they actually shrink a little bit, but I can still easily stitch in hand on them. And that's where I got to. And I think that's 2 days of stitching. I think I gave this one 2 days. And I will get back to that one probably sooner rather than later, because like I said, it really was my favorite release from Market. I've stitched again with where I had the call for flosses. I used those and I subbed out the ones that I didn't have, or I think the blue that was called for wasn't going to show up on that blue fabric, so I went a little bit darker with it. And I love that pattern. Love it. Bunnies and bees, what's not to like, right? Okay. My next Maynia start, which I think was start number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, number 5. Is another one I kitted up in 2018 when I was apparently much more ambitious than I am now. Was Blackbird Designs Strawberry Feels Forever, which I think is super cute. I love this gigantic strawberry vine growing out of the planter. The planter's almost as big as the house. And then I think this filigree looking gate down here is really pretty. I believe this is the called for. Maybe. Confederate gray, I think that's what this is. This feels like a Weeks Dye Works fabric before they switched to the Zweigart base. So this is 36 count Confederate gray from Weeks. And that's where I got to. And again, I think I gave this one 2 days. And this one I have, I think almost all the call for, because 2 years ago I was tending to, you know, purchase more as I kitted up, and now I'm kind of like, well, girl, you got a lot of stuff you need to use. But very cute, and I'm looking forward. I want to get the house filled in, and then I'm really looking forward to that big old planter. I like that strawberry vine. Here we go again. This is another one kitted up from 2018. See, I got lazy this year, and frankly, I was so busy, I just didn't have time to sit and kit, which is not my favorite thing to do anyway. But I had this one kitted up for a couple of years. This is Bovinia from Plum Street. Don't you love the cow? I grew up on a cattle ranch, so. But frankly, I have to tell you, I appreciate the cows more here. But she's very cute. I like her a lot. I have plans to stitch this one, and then the Milk and Cream Company. And what's the other one? Wool and Flax, maybe? I don't know. I'd like to stitch all of those and kind of put them up together. Tribute to my farm girl past, anyway. This is another one I kitted up a couple years ago, so I have most of the call fors on it. And it is stitched on, this is Winter Brew, which I think is an R&R, right? And I didn't get a whole lot of progress on her. Just my one-day start there. I will be more enthused about this when I get done with the cow, which is black and white, and move on to color, because you know I'm all about that color. But anyway, I was glad to start another one out of my 2018 pile, which guess where this one came from? Yep, same pile. This is the one that is, I've stitched on it the last 2 days, I think. I told you I was having trouble finding something that would hold my interest. I'm so sorry, pardon me. Excuse me. I'm still sleep deprived from the whole Little Rock fiasco. This is Good Deeds from Brenda Gervais with by Needle and Thread. And I love what it says. Good deeds live long. People will remember the good and they will remember the bad. So it's better to have your good deeds live long. But she's very cute. I had this kitted up, like I said, I kitted it up a couple years ago, and for whatever reason, I had bought 28 count. I don't know. But I don't want to stitch on 28 count because I have to use 2 threads. And I don't want to, so I'm not gonna. So I ditched the 28 count, whatever the called for was, and pulled out a piece of, I think this is Baby Sheep from Overdue Designs, and I really like her fabrics. And by the way, I saw that Teresa had just gotten in a huge order of hers, so you might go check out Teresa's website, kittenstitcher.com, if you want to try some of Jukas's fabrics, because they are quite lovely. They're great for stitching in hand. So here's my little lady. And I'm happy with her. I got like 2/3 of this flower done on the day I started. And then I've done, you know, the rest of this yesterday and the day before, I think. But this one is holding my interest. And like I said, I've kind of been like, a thread length here or there on whatever. And I haven't really accomplished much because of that, because I've kind of jumped around. But this one, I'm supposed to stitch on Eau Marie today, but you know me, sweet wee. Stitch what you want when you want. So probably going to be good deeds. And then my last Maynia start, guess what? Kitted up, 2018. Better late than never, Leslie. This is the little mystery sampler. Was released in 3 parts from LizzieKate. Here's what the whole thing looks like. It's really cute. And again, I think most, it's kitted up with about 50-50 called for in DMC. But I wasn't thrilled with whatever they had stitched it on. And I changed my linen to, this is 32 count. Yep, 32 count. Picture This Plus quartz. And here's where I've gotten to. That is, the first part 1 is complete. So I just need to do part 1, or part 2 and part 3. So I changed the color of the linen, and looking at this, I wish I had changed some of the floss colors. I didn't. I went with whatever I had pulled originally before I decided to change the linen. And it's okay, but the colors don't pop. They're not as vibrant as I really wish they were. But I've started it. I'm not redoing it. I'm sure as heck not frogging it all out and starting over. So it is what it is. I'll deal with it. And I do like what it says. Yesterday is gone. What is it? Yesterday is gone. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. And it absolutely is, y'all. With what's been going on with Steve and worrying about, you know, what we were going to find after he was referred to the surgical oncologist and everything. Every day's a gift. Treasure it, enjoy it, thank God for it. You know, be blessed and thankful for the life that you have. So I have enjoyed this one. I wish I had brightened up the colors a little more, but all right, I'll love it anyway. And that's what I've been stitching on for the last 2 months. Now, I've been not as motivated with stitching, and part of that is because I have made a crap ton of project bags. Steve's been working from home since I think the 3rd week of March, and since he's been in the office, I've been hanging out quite a bit in the office for about 4 hours a day sewing project bags. And I've made a lot of project bags, and thank you very much to all of y'all who have purchased project bags for me. I sure do appreciate them. My goal with my project bags is to pay for the young lady who comes every couple of weeks and helps me with the housework that my fibromyalgia does not lend itself to getting done. Anything to do with floors, the twisting motion, whether it's for sweeping, mopping, vacuuming, just bites me in the butt. Well, in the lower back, but close enough. So my goal is to pay for Sammy to come and pay for the yard guy to come, so I don't have to worry about Steve getting out in the heat to deal with that. So thank y'all for taking care of those things for us. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about project bags in a little while, but we'll do a couple other things first because I know some people may not care about that. So what's next? How about haul? I haven't had much haul lately. I've been pretty good because the last couple years I just spent way too much. And, you know, with some of the other things that have been going on, I've just realized that's really not as big a priority as I might have thought it was. So I've been pretty good. But I have gotten a couple of things. I don't remember which I started. You know, I started maybe last year for Maynia. I started one of the big hat samplers that I can't think of the name of right now. And I've never done a corner start before. I've always done a center start because that's just what I learned and what I'm comfortable with. And So I ended up starting it I started in the upper left-hand corner, but I started it closer to the corner than what I really should have because I was afraid of starting it too far over the other way and running out of room. So anyway, I started that Eau Marie sampler, and I did the same thing. I kind of shorted myself on the left-hand side because I, didn't want to run out of room. And I well know that I bought a piece of fabric big enough for it, but just dumb. Anyway, I ordered a corner gauge. This came from, I think they used to be Romantic Fripperies, and now they're just Fripperies. They have an Etsy shop. It's a little corner gauge, so now I will no longer have to guess where to start. You just, if I want to do a 2-inch border, I'll poke my needle in there, 2.5 here, and then this would be a 3-inch border. So, and it's very cute. It's been laser engraved, and they have a bunch of other designs, but I like birds, so I thought that was pretty cute. So, and it was not expensive. I think it was, I want to say $8.99, but it could have been like $11.99, but it was somewhere around $10. Not expensive. Not bad at all. And then my silks of the month for April came, and I had to email Jo and tell her I didn't get my silks of the month for March. And she's like, nobody's gotten them. Apparently they're stuck in a post office somewhere. So, but these beautiful colors came for April, and those colors are right up my alley, man. They're just gorgeous, kind of dusty, beautiful colors. Love them. Those are some of this. One of the prettier packages she's had. Jo has the Silk of the Month Club. She was telling me when we were emailing back and forth that they are moving away from Etsy and whatever other platform they're on because of cost, that they're going to really have to increase the cost of their silks if you go and order from Etsy. So go to their website, which is silks4u.com. But her silks from Silk of the Month Club is 5 8-meter skeins, 8 meters, 10 meters. 10 meters. 5 10-meter skeins of 6-strand silk, which is very good quality. I really enjoy using it for $20 a month, including shipping from Australia. And I don't think you can beat that deal with a stick. So anyway, love the Silks for You. I'm happy to add those to my collection. And I wish my March ones would show up. She told me several people had contacted her and hadn't gotten them. So she thinks they were all stuck in a bin in a post office somewhere because of the worldwide craziness right now. And then I spent 2 days hanging out with Ann at the Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock because Steve was over at UAMS. Excuse me. And of course, you can't be with your family member. And let me tell you, one of the harder things I've done in my adult life was drop him off the other morning for surgery and drive away. That was hard. I have control issues. Anyway, having worked as an RN for almost 25 years, I have real control issues about stuff because I think I know it better. So just leaving him for surgery was really, really hard. But it is what it is. We've all got to do what we got to do, right? So, but I didn't enjoy it. And just, having no communication with him other than on cell phone, not being able to be there and talk to his doctor in person. And anyway, it was hard. And I don't know if you watch Stacy, the 911 Stitcher. She has a hard story about her stepdaughter dying earlier this month, in a situation where her family couldn't be with her. So Stacy, my sympathy certainly goes out to you for that. It's a hard situation for everybody. But anyway, back to the haul. I hung out with Ann over at the Shepherd's Needle for a couple of days, and I just couldn't leave the shop without something. So I came home with this pattern. This was a market release from Brenda Gervais. Your heart and my heart are very old friends. I think that's really cute. I like the little couple there. And of course the colors are right up my alley. Very pretty. So I like that one a lot. And then I picked up I noticed that my stash, I've depleted my stash of neutrals quite a bit over the last year. I was in a Fabric of the Month club for the last couple of years. And 2 years ago, I got a 28 count, and I just am not using 28 anymore. So you'll see some of that in giveaways. And then last year, I got 36 count, which was great, and I've loved it. It was, you know, a fat quarter of Picture This Plus fabric every month. But I've used a lot of my neutrals. So while I was down in Little Rock, I noticed that Anne had this. And this is Liberty Gathering Gray, which is from R&R. And sometimes it's really difficult to find R&R fabrics. So I saw that she had a fat quarter of this, and I snapped it up. And if y'all want fabric, and you know, even if you can't get out to your LNS or your LNS, you can't get there, you don't have one near, whatever, Anne is terrific. Just call, talk to her or Sherry. They are happy to help you over the phone or via email or whatever with choosing fabrics. So I added that fat quarter to my stash of neutrals. And then I was sitting there, since I hung out at the shop with her all day, I was sitting there stitching, and there in front of me was a beautiful piece that somebody, one of her model stitchers, had stitched and brought back, but it wasn't framed yet. It was just laying there on the table. And I looked at that and I said, "Oh, Anne, that's gorgeous. What is it?" Because I didn't think I'd ever seen it before. And she went and handed me this. Now, looking at that, this does not appeal to me at all. The color scheme, it's just not me. I'm not crazy about it. But the stitched model she had was fabulous. So I opened the kit up and pulled out the silks, and need to say more than silks. And the colors in that picture, like so many colors on the front of, the colors are not reflective really of the actual colors of the stitched piece. And so the kid had to come home with me, because this, when I looked at this, I wouldn't have picked it up. Nope, not for me. The stitched piece, gorgeous. It's a typical, once you see it stitched, you're going to want it. And I did. And then she was out of whatever the call for that was. So I picked up, this is, it's a 36 count, Properly Primitive, maybe, is that the name of it? It's a bluish greenish color. And I think it's going to be really pretty. The model that I saw was stitched on, I think whatever the call for was, which was, and it was fairly yellowish, and you know, yellow is not my favorite. So I think this will suit me very well, and I'm very happy with the fabric. It's got a very, it's wonderful, got a wonderful hand to it. I wish I remember what it was. Purely Primitive from somebody, but I don't know who. And she had just a piece left, and so instead of leaving her with a remnant, I just took the whole piece. So I've got another piece of it to add to my stash. So that was my haul. 2 pieces of fabric and a kit and a pattern. Oh, and some silks and a corner gauge. Maybe I wasn't as good as I thought I was, but it's been 2 months. It's been 2 months. I can do it. Oh, and some Pat's favorite needles. I love the Pat Carson needles. I was watching Priscilla and Chelsea yesterday, and they're recommending them too, and they really are. I've tried a bunch of others, and I can stitch with whatever, but if I'm gonna have my pick, Pat Carson all the way. And so these are 28s. So a package of those. And then that's all. That's it. That's plenty, but that's it. Nowhere near as bad as I've been multiple times in the past, right? So hopefully Steve is home from Little Rock and won't be requiring any more visits. Well, we have to go back to his doctor next week so he can get his staples out and his drain pulled and all that good stuff. But it's not that I don't love hanging out with Anne. And y'all really call the Shepherd's Needle. They are terrific. And I'll put all of her contact information below. But I need not to go hang out there, because if I hang out there, I want to buy things. Who knew? Okay. Then I had some Stitchy Kindness, and I'm so sorry, my nose is itching. Some of this goes back for quite a while because I haven't, done a floss tube. After market, Anne sent me home with several of these. This is the cookbook from market this year called Happiness is Homemade. She sent home one for me and one for you. So this is going to be one of today's giveaways. And then I think her name is Linda, I think, with Rovaris Cross Stitch, contacted me and asked me if I would like to give away, if I would like to have and or give away some of her patterns. And she sent me 4, I think. I thought I had 4. Anyway, she sent me several patterns, and we're going to put one of these in today's giveaway also. So thank you very much to Anne for the cookbook and to Linda for the Rovaris patterns. And then I may have shown y'all one of these a while back. Melody Bagwell, who comments, you'll see her comments on a lot of FlossTube videos, and she's a very sweet lady. She sent me several patterns that she was done with. This one is out of print, I believe. This is a bright needle called Esmeralda's House. And then she also sent In Friendship, which is a fairly recent release from Plum Street. And she also sent a copy of Cinnamon Stars. And all of that Cinnamon Stars is going to be part of today's giveaway. But thank you, ladies, all for sending the goodies so I can share them with everybody. I sure do appreciate all of you. And then a couple months ago, the folks at mybobbin.com had also sent several things for me to give away. And we'll have one of these included in today's giveaway. And I will include all of the contact information for everybody from places you can order from. We'll include those in the drop down below. Y'all know to give me time to do the drop down. My upload speeds are not particularly fast, and this one's going to take a while because we're running up on an hour. But once it's uploaded, I will go back and go to my computer and fill in the drop down with all the information. But that may be tomorrow on Monday, June 1st, before I get that done. So cut me some slack on that. Okay, giveaways from my last video. One of them, this was one of the ones donated from mybobbin.com, Clockwork Bird. That's what I'm calling it. I have no idea what the Russian says, but I thought it was really cute. I was very tempted to keep this for myself, and then I realized I have more than I could stitch in 100 years, so we're giving it to y'all. So, and I did the random comment picker, just entering the keyword for this one was bird. And so I put the word bird in the random comment picker, and the winner for this one is Priscilla Cordero. And when I get to the computer in a minute, I will comment on your comment to let you know that you won this. Contact me. My email will also be in that drop down. Contact me and give me your shipping address, and I will get this out to you. It will probably be the end of this week before I go back to the post office, but I will get this out to you. But I need to get your mailing address so I can send it. And then the next giveaway is Joyful Summer from Country Cottage Needleworks. I finished this late March, early April, and I think it's so pretty. Colors are just beautiful in this. And the winner for this one, same thing. The keyword was summer, and I put the word summer in the random comment thing. And the winner for this one is Carrie in Stitches. So Carrie, same thing. I'll comment on your comment. Contact me with your mailing address, and I'll get this sent to you. Okay, then I've got a bunch of giveaways to do for today, but before we get to that, I'm going to talk to you about project bags real quickly. Like I said, I've been making a lot of project bags because, well, I've needed something to occupy my mind. Steve's been in the office, so it's been a good match. But I'm going to show you briefly. I sent out everybody who had paid for anything, your orders. If you haven't received them yet, they were mailed, I believe, on Tuesday, so you should be seeing them pretty quickly. And these are the ones I have left as of right now. I've got one of the pretty floral bags, a fall bag, one of the mason jar bags left. It's got pink mason jars on it. One peacock bag left. Another fall pumpkin bag. I'm going fast. One left of the swingers. This is an Alexander Henry fabric, which is hilarious with the softball girls on it. I just love them. I have currently, I believe, one of the Bees and Skeps bags, and y'all see my little Berman tag that I got? I didn't do a good job of getting this one sewn on, but I'm learning. I think that this is the last one left. No, I may have bought another yard of this fabric. This is the farmer's market fabric. It says local produce or farmer's market. One of those left. 3 left of the pink houses bag. I had to get this because I got the AnnieBeez pattern with the pink houses on it, and I thought this is where that needed to live. But I kept one for me, and I have 3 left of those. And then I've been real surprised that these have not gone out the door faster. These are, I called it chicks and checks because chickens there, checks there. And I've got several of those, 5 I think left of those. And I believe I have 1 left of the Bee Sweet bag, which is bees and hives and then a coordinating rose print. Anyway, if you're interested in bags, email me, or you can look on my Instagram. My Instagram is at Phat, P-H-A-T, cat, C-A-T, Phlossing, P-H-L-O-S-S-I-N-G. Again, everything will be in the drop down. Anyway, contact me. The bags are $35, including domestic U.S. shipping. I will ship wherever you want, but I will get a quote from the post office and charge you actual cost of shipping. Like I'm sending a couple bags to Australia. And good Lord, the quote was $28. Now, hopefully it'll be a little bit less than that when I actually take it in and have it weighed. Shipping elsewhere is expensive. I can't afford to include that. But I don't charge more than what the actual cost is. Okay, and then the last thing is giveaways for today. I think that is all right. Yep, that's it. That's it at 52 minutes. Let's see if I can get this done in under an hour. What are the odds? Okay, firstly, this was a giveaway from, I don't know, back in February or March. This is called Harvest Time from Chessie and Me. The winner that I pulled at the time was Kelly Hale. Kelly, I have commented on your comment. If I do not hear from you within the next, I don't know, let's say a week, let's say Monday, June 8th. So a week from tomorrow. If I don't hear from you by June 8th, this is going to go back in the rotation and be given away to somebody else. Okay, and now giveaways for today. This is one of the patterns that Melody Bagwell sent, and thank you so much, Melody. This is one of the original copies of Cinnamon Stars. She had misplaced whatever the bag that it came in, but the pattern is complete and in pristine condition. And that's available. Use the word star, S-T-A-R, if you want to win Cinnamon Stars. Use the word star somewhere in your comment. This is the cookbook that came from market this year, donated by Ann Thompson at the Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock. If you would like to win the cookbook, use the word homemade, right? Yeah, happiness is homemade, so use the word homemade. And I will ship anywhere on these. This is one of the patterns donated by Linda at Rovaris. This one is, she doesn't name her patterns, but this one says a sweet land of liberty. And it's a 4th of July pattern. I think you could get that stitched by the 4th, unless it takes me 2 months to get back to do another video. Always possible. But use the word liberty, L-I-B-E-R-T-Y, if you want to win this one. And then lastly, this is one of the patterns donated from my bobbin. And it's just a really pretty summer scene. I love, down here there's little ducks in the pond. It's just really pretty. It's a very nice kit. It includes what looks like a 14 count Ada and all the floss with it. And if you want to win this one, I'd like to stitch the farm. So I'd like to stitch the farm. I'd like to stitch Liberty. Something with a sentence with the word homemade. All one word, Homemade. And I'd like to stitch stars. So comment, please. Like the video. Be a subscriber. I do check. And all 4 of these will be giveaways on whenever I get back. Hopefully not 2 months. My goal is 2 weeks. I failed at that goal this last time. I failed majorly, but we're going to hope that I'm a little better this time. Hopefully there's no kittens requiring feeding around the clock and no more husband in the hospital and, you know, cross your fingers for me. Say some prayers. Praline is due on, I think, June 7th, so I'm really hoping she's going to be able to feed all those babies by herself. Anyway, thank y'all so much for coming to visit with me again. I sure do appreciate it. I sure have missed y'all. Life's just been too crazy. So enjoy all your stitching. Thanks for coming to visit, and I hope to see you again soon, y'all. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.